This is the solution video for section 2.2, problem number 1. So it says, suppose u and v are functions of x that are differentiable at x equals 0, and that u of 0 equals 5, u prime of 0 equals 3, v of 0 equals -1, and v prime of 0 equals 2. Find the values of the following derivatives at x equals 0. So first of all, if I want to find the derivative with respect to x of u times v, remember u times v, that's a product. So we're going to use the product rule. So we would say u times the derivative of v, u dv dx, plus v times the derivative of u, du dx. Okay, now that's general. So d dx of uv, but evaluated at x equals 0 means I'm going to take u of 0 times dv dx, the derivative of v, so that would be like v prime of 0, plus v of 0 times, well, the derivative of u would be u prime of 0. So now, u of 0 is 5 times v prime of 0 is 2 plus v of 0 is -1 times u prime of 0 is -3. So 5 times 2 is 10 plus 3 gives us 13. Same thing is true for b. Okay, we want to use the quotient rule, u over v. So quotient rule, remember, says take the denominator, v, times the derivative of the numerator, which we could call du dx or u prime, minus the numerator, u, times the derivative of the denominator, which is v prime, all divided by the denominator, v squared. So now remember, we want d dx of u over v, but we want that evaluated at x equals 0. So we're going to take v of 0 times u prime of 0 minus u of 0 times v prime of 0, all divided by v of 0 quantity squared. All right, so v of 0 is -1 times u prime of 0, -3, minus u of 0, 5, times v prime of 0, 2, divided by v of 0, -1 quantity squared. So -1 times -3, that would be +3, minus 5 times 2, minus 10. 3 minus 10 is -7, divided by -1 squared, which is 1, or our answer is -7. All right, moving on to C. C looks almost exactly the same, but remember, this is v divided by u. So using the quotient rule, remember, we have to take the denominator, u, times the derivative of the numerator, v prime, minus numerator, v, times the derivative of the denominator, u prime, all divided by the denominator, u squared. All right, and so now once again, using proper notation, d dx of v divided by u evaluated at x equals 0. So we're going to take u of 0 times v prime of 0 minus v, that's a v of 0 times u prime of 0, all divided by the denominator, u of 0 quantity squared. All right, so now u of 0 is 5 times v prime of 0, which is 2, minus v of 0, -1, times u prime of 0, -3, all divided by u of 0, which is 5, quantity squared. All right, so 5 times 2 is 10, minus -1 times -3, so that'd be 10 minus 3 is 7 over 5 squared, so 25, so 7/25. All right, and then lastly, d dx of 7v minus 2u. So remember, we're simply going to take 7 times the derivative of v, so that'd be v prime, or dv dx, minus 2 times the derivative of u, which is u prime. So very simply, d dx of 7v minus 2u evaluated at x equals 0 is going to be 7 times v prime of 0 minus 2 times u prime of 0. So 7 times v prime of 0, which is 2, minus 2 times u prime of 0, which is negative 3. 7 times 2 is 14, minus 2 times negative 3, so plus 6, so we get 20.